Hey Aries, welcome to Seven Scorpion Tarot. I am your host with the most, and I want to welcome you to your reading. So, for what's going on with Aries right now, what I was seeing in the celestial weather, uh, right now Mars is in Leo and about to start its retrograde on the 6th in Leo, and the North Node and Chiron are retrograding both right now in Aries. So the North Node is, the way I've heard that described, is like where we're going. And then the South Node would be where we're coming from. And then Chiron is the wounded warrior. So that's some interesting placements in your sign right now. So the true North Node being in retrograde, maybe there's something you might feel stalled out in your path right now. That kind of fits also with, Mercury is in retrograde right now. That'll be stationing direct on the 15th in concordance with the full moon, which is a lot. uh, and then Chiron, that wounded warrior being in retrograde, maybe you're having a difficult time identifying a persistent wound, or having difficult time healing a persistent wound that would fit really closely with the mythology of Chiron. So let's get a few cards I want to pull for the self, the shadow, and the ego for you, and then we'll get an oracle card and some self-care for you. So let's see what's going on with Aries. The first house ruler of identity, the body, and my zodiac neighbor. Me being a Pisces sun. So let's see what's going on with Aries in the self. And when I say self, shadow, and ego, I'm referring to kind of a simplified version of the Jungian model of the soul. If you want to check out my YouTube channel, I get pretty in depth over there into the self, shadow, and ego. And I'll get into like the personal unconscious, the collective unconscious, and the ego and the persona. But so we've got the Eight of Gems, so the Eight of Pentacles. This is the card of the Artisan, and it's in reverse. And this is the Dark Crystal Tarot. So the card of the Artisan in reverse. So this is also the card of hard work and perfecting your craft. And given the amount of retrogrades in your sign and your sign ruler, I'm actually not surprised to see this come out in the reverse. So you might feel like you've stagnated in whatever it is you're working on, or trying to get off the ground, or a new skill you're trying to learn. Maybe you're taking some self exams, some of those, quizzes that they give you a score, but there's nobody taking that grade, and maybe you're not making progress past whatever score you keep getting. That can be really frustrating And continuing to grind can be a detriment. It can be like counterproductive. And I can absolutely see our Aries friends, full steam ahead, just try again to try and get it right. Uh, Maybe you need to take a break. You don't need to give up. You don't need to drop the thing, but maybe, take a week off. I know that can be a big ask for an Aries, but that that can help kind of refresh the circuits. It can, in a weird way, like it might feel like stepping back, but like that rest can kind of coil the spring to launch you forward. I don't know. Well, let's see what's going on in the shadow. Might lend a little clarity as to what you're working diligently on. So I know, like in the past, when I've been trying to, study for a certificate or something, and I'll just grind and grind and grind and grind, can definitely become counterproductive because then I start getting frustrated and then my little quiz scores start getting worse. Or if it's something creative, like I can't force those creative juices out. Kind of have to replenish before I can, coax them out of their resting place. So the shadow. So let's see, was that 2? That looks like 2. And they flipped. They did a little topsy-turvy. So 6 of vials, 6 of cups, and 2 of stones, so 2 of swords. So the nostalgia card, and this can be a decision that needs to be made. And it makes me think of justice. Because she in the Rider-Waite, she's blindfolded and she's like holding 2 swords crossed. And like, the justice is blind saying, but that's a very defensive posture. So it could be like a need to, I want to say, meditate. It's also bringing to mind a line from Princess Mononoke of, I came here to see with eyes unclouded, the blindfold over the eyes, and then decide which path to pursue. And I mean, really, the conundrum of that character, Ashitaka, was he was trying to make everybody get along. And that's interesting, too, in pairing with the card of nostalgia, that maybe there is a past part of you, because this is in the shadow, there's a past part of you that you're trying to get other people to agree with. Maybe that's the difficult work, or the work that's blocked, because you can't control how people receive you. You can only be yourself. I mean, how, oh, or maybe since this is in the shadow, maybe you're in conflict with people from your past, or people that you've known for a really long time, how they perceive you, how they perceive the authentic self. That, many of us go through various events and, big dark nights of the soul that help us get closer to that authentic self. And some people may not be receptive to that authentic self, to that work you're doing on self-improvement. And self-improvement doesn't always necessarily have to be stuff like, therapy and whatnot. It can be advancing your career, like the certificate example that I was bringing up earlier. Never quite understood that, of like people that want to keep you or want you to remain as you are. I don't know. It's weird. But there might be some fear coming up from the shadow that people may not be receptive to this maybe new or evolved version of you, or the you that's been there the whole time, that's been hidden away potentially. And those are often, I feel like, people that we've known for a really long time. It can be the most difficult to get them to accept who we really are. So let's get a card for the ego. This would include the ego and the persona, this how we're interacting with the external world. There's a lot here with the Six of Cups and the Two of Swords. Maybe not feeling conflicted about leaving someone or something from the past behind. Going with it. So the Six of Pentacles and Page of Stones, Page of Swords, the student of the mind. So this is equal give and take, or charity as well. Generosity. And the student of the mind. So this is reversed. So blocked energy in the self. Maybe there is a lesson yet to be learned. Or one remaining lesson at this page stage before moving into the knight, that the next subsequential card. Is that the right word? Whatever. The next card. Um, so the next card is the knight. So maybe there's one remaining lesson in regards to the material realm, to the realm of pentacles, the earth, which earth is body. So the first house, very pertinent here for Aries. There's something blocked to get in touch with generosity of self. I kind of almost want to say getting in the way of connection. Even though this is not cups, that would be more like the Two of Cups. But maybe there's so much hard work going into the authentic self could be over intellectualizing yourself out of connections because you want to protect the authentic self. Maybe from experiences you've had in the past that created a conflict within your shadow and a conflict within the mind, because this is stones, swords. So there's something here in the mind, like a block, maybe mistrust, uh, could be relational trauma, something like that, that needs to be worked through in order to be able to give and take equally in the material realm. And whether or not that's with resources like in your interpersonal relationships or at your job, like what you're receiving, what you're giving, anything like that, like however it resonates. I want to get an alchemy card. See, maybe how can we transmute this energy? Kind of get things flowing. And it could be in like a stagnation period right now because of all the retrogrades. Um, the nodes will be changing signs before too terribly long here. Oop. Okay. Oh, do. Ooh. It's like Neptune and Sugar. That Sleep Token song just popped in my head. Sugar. Out of all the options for songs titled Sugar, Sleep Token comes to mind. So check that song out. Maybe there's a message in there for you, Aries. But so, Neptune, my ruler, Pisces. I would say since the reason I picked this deck was to see how to transmute this energy, you need to lean into that Piscean energy of the dreamer, of escapism a bit, and get out of this material realm and let yourself imagine. And this is giving me like Pink Floyd, like Dark Side of the Moon right here. So maybe there's a need for music. Actually, that is what I'm going to go with here to help transmute these difficult feelings that might be blocking your material realm within the authentic self, to get this counterproductive energy moving again. Music. I'm taking this as a sign to listen to some good music. So Pink Floyd and Sleep Token. That is my recommendation as your oracle, Aries. Listen to music. But overall, I hope this helps and I hope this resonates. And if it doesn't, I hope the next one does. Thank you so much.